Once the Determine Materiality task is completed, the user can now start the next task, FSLI testing. Only if the materiality task is completed 100% and marked as complete, the user can start this task. Once the task begins, the user sees the head-level screen displaying active heads under Balance Sheet and Profit and Loss in separate tabs. Only heads with at least one mapped ledger are shown, with values presented in trial balance format, including opening balance, total debits, total credits, and closing balance. Qualified for testing. A head is fully qualified for testing if all its subheads are fully qualified. It is partially qualified if at least one subhead is not qualified for testing. And if all subheads are not applicable for testing, the head is considered not qualified. At the start, percent complete is set to 0% for all heads and updates progressively as the user tests each qualified subhead. The value of potential misstatement defaults to null for all heads and accumulates as users enter misstatements for subheads and ledgers. Users can filter and view only heads qualified for testing by selecting the Show Qualified Heads Only checkbox. When the user clicks on the hyperlink on any head on the head level screen, the user navigates to the subhead level screen. The table lists all the subheads under the selected head, with values presented in trial balance format. Qualified for testing. At the subhead level, the column can have values as either fully qualified or not qualified, with a fully qualified item having source as either performance or specific materiality. Source. Source is marked as performance materiality for the subhead if its closing balance exceeds the performance materiality threshold in the materiality task. It is classified as specific materiality if its closing balance exceeds the specific materiality threshold for subheads selected for specific materiality. When the user clicks on the Edit button, the fields testing procedure used, value of potential misstatement, remarks, and testing done fields are enabled for the user. Testing procedure used drop-down lists a preloaded set of procedures with flexibility to configure more procedures from the task configuration screen. Value of potential misstatement is a user-enterable field, defaulting to null for all subheads. Whether a subhead is qualified for testing or not, users can input any amount, positive or negative, for the FSLI item. The potential misstatement amount cannot exceed the subhead's closing balance. If it does, the system will display an error and prevent the value from being saved. Testing done. The field includes a yes/no drop-down, defaulting to no for all items. Selecting yes for qualified items increases task percent completion. Selections for non-qualified items do not impact completion. Users can filter and view only subheads qualified for testing by selecting the Show Only Qualified for Testing checkbox. The hyperlink on the FSLI items allow a further drill down to the ledger-level screen, which lists all ledgers under the selected FSLI item presented in trial balance format. The Edit button lets users select a testing procedure, enter potential misstatements, and mark the ledger as tested, yes, no. However, ledger-level testing is optional and does not affect percent completion of the task. Once misstatement amounts are entered at both FSLI and ledger levels, a summary is available on the head-level screen. The hyperlink under Value of Potential Misstatement shows all misstatements for that head. The View Potential Misstatement button displays total task-level misstatements across all heads, Balance Sheet and P&L. Percent completion is updated based on the number of qualified items tested.